First story. Cheating mom abandoned me for her wealthier affair. And my dad abandoned me because I'm a reminder of his mistake. I was 5. Now, after 9 years, mom came back with her affair and took me in, acting like everything is normal. Her affair even addresses me as his son. I had enough and lashed out. When I was 5 years old, my mom 34F had an affair and left me and my dad 35F for a wealthier man. For 2 years, I only saw my mom like 4 or 5 times, I can't even remember. But not more than that. Then she disappeared and didn't contact us again. I even thought that she was dead. I think my dad thought it was too much responsibility for him, or was angry at my mom, and somehow wanted to take everything that reminded him of her away. So he sent me to live with my maternal aunt, and I only saw him like 2 or 3 times a month for half an hour. Unfortunately, my aunt died of cancer last year. I thought my dad would take me in, but he's busy with his new family, wife and kids. My grandma dad's mother wanted to take me, but then my egg donor came out of the blue to take me. When she came to take me, it was the first time I saw her in 9 years, and it felt weird, and it sucked that she hugged me and kissed me as if nothing had happened in those 9 years. She married the man she left us for, and they now have 3 kids, 10, 8, and 7. I've been living with them for 6 months now, and I spend most of the time in my room since we are in another city 6 hours away, and I have no friends here. We rarely speak. She tries to talk to me, but I ignore her and her husband. They try to include me in activities, but it sucks seeing them play the perfect family when I missed everything as a child, so I don't really like them. Her husband tries to make me call him Dad. He tries to spend time with me and talk to me. He knows I love tennis, so he learned about it, has listed me in tennis lessons, and wants to talk about it all the time he sees me. He even wants to take me to some matches. He introduces me as his son, and I hate it since all I see is the guy who stole my mom from me when I needed her the most. It happened yesterday. He asked me to go with him to the grocery store, and then he met a friend of his, and as his friend hasn't seen me in any family photos, he asked about me, and then my mom's husband said, "He is my firstborn. You didn't know about him because he was living with a sister of my wife's." I didn't make a scene there, but when we got out, I told him to never say he was my father. He was just a homewrecker who stole my mom. We got home, and he told my mom. Then my mom, almost crying, said, "You hate us that much, don't you?" So I said, "Of course you left me, and now you want to act like nothing happened by playing with the happy family." To be honest, I can't wait to turn 18 and leave, and I'm not sure if I ever want to see you again. She started crying, and her husband comforted her, so I just went to my room. They tried to talk to me, but I just ignored them. I told a friend of mine about this, and he says AITA. Update. Not really a big deal, but something is something, I guess, since a lot of people have been texting me. My mom and stepdad have been so apologetic. They try to talk to me, but I ignore them. I know it makes me sound terrible, but I can't. I've tried to look at them differently since I posted here the first time, but I can't. Heaven knows I've tried. I want to try therapy, I need someone to talk to, and I let my mom know it again. But her husband keeps insisting that we must go together to do some family therapy. I don't really want him there because I don't see the point of it. So, I'm going to do what somebody suggested. I told him that I'd do the therapy with him, and once we are there, I'll tell the therapist that I don't feel comfortable with him there. Maybe that works. I don't even know if this is moral or even fair, but I don't know what else to do since he has refused to let me go by myself. He already booked the appointment. It's this Tuesday at 3 p.m., so that's what's happening now. I'll let you know if my plan works. Verdict. Not the arsehole. Relevant comments. MalibuCat48. NTA, I'm so sorry for the life you've had. It's hard being a teenager under any circumstances, but you've been dealt a bad hand, and your feelings are valid. Is there any chance you could still live with your grandmother? Your mother and her husband are trying to make up for the wrongs she has done, but if they care, they might let you live with your grandmother if it would make you happier. If that isn't possible, see if you can get into therapy. It won't change your situation, but it will help you cope with it. Good luck, and I hope things work out. OP. They don't want me, and my dad doesn't want to take me. Commentators asked about why OP's mother was not visiting him, and if OP's father's family hated her. OP, remember, I lived with her sister. Not my dad's family, so there was nobody stopping her from visiting me. No bus 5E303. NTA, I'm sorry, but your mom is way too much. She expects you to jump into her arms, and everything will be okay. It's not that she cheated, and now she wants to be in this perfect fantasy land. Where are the sunshine and rainbows? My advice: turned 18. Get a job and bolt. OP. I tried to get a part-time job now, but she refused because her husband convinced her. I need her permission here. Update. My life stinks. Mom and dad try to fix what they did. But what they don't understand is that once a heart is broken, there is no way to put it together as it used to. Now they cry as if they were the victims here. Ha ha ha, isn't that hilarious? Relevant comments. A commentator asked how OP was doing. OP. I'm doing a little better. Therapy sessions are just the therapist and me, except for the first one in which my dad was present because he wanted to tell me something important. In any case, I'm doing better for myself. I'm stuck here, but I'll make sure this man pays for my college. I'll move out anyway. Update. He wants to adopt me. Mom's affair partner, the man she left me for now, came up with the great idea of adopting me. And I'm like, dude, no matter how hard you try, I'll never forgive you. You'll never be my dad. The jerk bought me a car on my 17th birthday. And that's when he came up with the wonderful idea of adopting. I haven't used that damned car. My friends call me ungrateful because they wish their parents had gifted them such a thing. The only good thing about living with them is that I can have my privacy, and they respect it. Sometimes I feel sorry for him because he is trying so hard to make it up to me. But then I remember all the damage he caused and the many abandonment issues I have because of that. My mom. Well, we kind of improved our relationship. I wouldn't say I trust her, and I wouldn't say I love her either. But we've got to have open conversations in which we bare our souls. I don't buy some of her SHTTY excuses, but others seem reasonable even more now that I look backwards. We've had some therapy sessions together in which we both cried like babies. Relevant comments. Night 300. About the adoption thing. I don't know the laws regarding this, but I think child welfare professionals will ask the kid how they feel, and they will determine if this is in the child's best interests. In your case, if you've shown such big hatred towards him to the point where you had to go to therapy, then an adoption will probably not happen. The adoption will also result in you resenting him even more. To be honest, I don't know why he thought that it would be a good idea after you've shown how much you don't like him. About your friends. If you've already told them how much his actions screwed you and still invalidate your pain, and only see the money your mother's partner spent as a proof of affection, then drop them. These friends are such materialistic arseholes that I would not be surprised if they ended up doing what your mother has done. BTW. How do you get along with your half-siblings? OP. I don't really know the kids. We've interacted a few times, but we aren't super close. Update. It's been a while. Hi guys. I know it's been a long time since I posted here for the last time. To be honest, I had even forgotten about this post until I saw a video on TikTok like 5 days ago. It was my original post, and some people were asking for an update. I wanted to comment to let them know what had happened, but my profile picture is a photo of me, and I didn't want to feel vulnerable. I also think that if everything started here, I should post the update here. It was hard to log in since I had forgotten the password, but I see that a lot of you guys have been reaching out. I highly appreciate that you guys want to know if I'm okay. Sorry if I haven't replied to your comments. I have not checked my Reddit account in 1 year, and the reason why I posted this 5 days later is because I didn't have much time. I'll tell you why. Sorry if I make any mistakes typing this. It's a Saturday, 11 to 8 p.m., and I'm on my phone. Grandma died like 8 months ago. We weren't close, but it was still sad. I could attend her funeral. That's where I met my dad for the last time. He has cut me off from his life completely, and I don't know why. I saw him at the funeral. We hugged. I've tried calling him after that, but he didn't pick up the phone, and like 2 months ago, he blocked me on everything. It's hard, it hurts, not gonna lie, but I won't beg for a relationship. He'll regret it one day to find out he rejected someone who loved him and looked up to him, someone who'd have died for him. I'm already 18. I'm preparing my university application to attend the university next year. I want to apply for an architecture program. I'm already working as an assistant at an architecture firm. A job my stepdad got me because he is friends with one of the senior architects. They don't pay that much, but I help me get some experience. My mom and I have improved our relationship. I wouldn't say I trust her or I love her as a child should love their mom, since I still hold some resentment, but our relationship has improved a lot. She still refuses to answer some of my questions. I don't think she ever will, but we have made some progress, and she doesn't want me to move out. I'm planning to do it in January next year, since I just turned 18 and need to figure something out. As for my stepdad, it might sound weird. Perhaps I'm just being manipulated, or this is a consequence of my traumas, but I've never felt loved by anyone like him. I think he truly cares about me. He worries about my needs and insecurities. One day I even told myself, so this is what a parent's love feels like. Maybe, just maybe, the lack of affection given to me by those who were supposed to love more than anything makes me appreciate the things he does a little bit more, because I need you to understand that I didn't have that growing up. My dad never called me to see if I'd gotten home or school safe, or if I needed something, but SD does. I'm literally bearing my soul, and I have never said this to anyone, but I like when he calls me son. I just pretend I don't. Ha ha ha, I still call him by his name, but he tells me he dreams about the day I get to call him Dad. I don't think I ever will, but let's see what happens. He was against the idea of me working since I didn't need to because he can provide. But ultimately, he doesn't have a say. He tells me I don't have to worry about rent or funds because he will provide. But I don't think I want to be totally dependent for 5 years. So this is pretty much what has happened. I don't think this is the update you were waiting for, since some of you wanted me to run the second I turned 18. But I still need to find things out and be capable of affording a safe place. Second story. OP's girlfriend staged her mother's illness to stalk OP's ex-fiancé, then went to physically assault her, believing OP was cheating with her. She got herself arrested, then looked OP dead in the eyes, saying she did it for him and their love together. I'm just going to jump in. Background. So I know this sub often quotes, "Once a cheater, always a cheater." I agree and disagree at the same time. I cheated on my ex-fiancé when I was 24. I recently found out, after my mother passed, that she was not actually my mother, but my grandmother. My junkie sister, who odd when I was 15, was actually my biological mom. My fiancé at the time, Alma, told me that I needed to get over it because there was nothing I could do. She stopped wanting to talk to me, even if it was about her day, and I felt emasculated constantly. She refused to have sex for months at a time, and I withdrew. We both stopped trying, but neither of us was ready to let go, as we were high school sweethearts and were afraid of being without each other. Long story short, I had a one-night stand. In the moment, it felt nice that someone was interested in my day and in me and found me sexually attractive, and then it felt like someone dropped a boulder on me. I told Alma immediately the day after, and we split up. I am by no means proud of myself for cheating. I felt sick to my stomach looking at myself, and it took me a year to reevaluate my life. I moved apartments, hit the gym, ate better, tried Buddhism, and now I feel better. Alma and I even got together after the year to talk things out. She apologized for pulling away, and I apologized for cheating. We forgive each other. We'll never be great friends again, but I feel better knowing that we won't cringe when we see the other person. I met my now girlfriend Sasha at a mutual friend's party. I got her number, and we really hit it off. When we broached the conversation about past relationships, I told her what happened between me and Alma. I told her that if she had any questions or if this made her feel uncomfortable, she should let me know. She seemed fairly understanding, though she had never cheated or been cheated on, and we continued to have a wonderful relationship. We moved in together in November. Now-ish. At the end of February, she started to become increasingly curious about the cheating. She asked me if the one-night stand and I ever talked after, if she knew I had a fiancé, if Alma wanted to try and work things out, if I ever tried to get with other women in relationships, etc. I answered her honestly and let her know that if she's concerned that I'm going to cheat again, I'll keep my electronics and such open to her. Things seemed to be all right for a bit, until I noticed that Sasha was compulsively going through my electronics. She didn't ask me any more questions regarding my infidelity, but just became very jealous and controlling. For example, 3 weeks ago, I had to take my computer to the shop because it had been acting buggy. I came to find out that a keylogger of some sort had been installed on my computer. I brought this up with Sasha, and she asked why I took my computer in, that it worked fine for her, and that maybe it downloaded when I went onto some adultery site. Another example would be Alma messaging me on Facebook last week, wondering why I sent her and another girl from high school text messages. I had no idea what she was talking about, and she sent me screen caps from a cell phone number that's obviously mine. The texts weren't inappropriate, but obviously out of place. They just tried to strike up a conversation, but it was obviously not done in my tone. Again, I asked Sasha, and she seemed genuinely clueless and baffled. I checked my online account, and it confirmed that the messages were sent from my phone. Yesterday, Sasha and I went out to celebrate her friend Danielle's promotion. When Sasha went to the bathroom, Danielle brought up cheating. She told me about this ex, who cheated on her all the time and cheated in all of his relationships. Once a cheater, you know? I told her that for some people that's true, but I think once a cheater should be reflective of the relationship that someone cheated in. I always know Alma will see me as a cheater. I can't take that away, but I never want to cheat again. I never want to step into a relationship and be treated like a cheater. I explained this to Danielle without referencing my past infidelity. She laughed and told me I diluted myself and that Sasha better keep her eye on me. Sasha came back, and I excused myself and told Sasha I felt sick and wanted to go home. She wanted to stay and said I could just Uber. I Ubered home and watched some Netflix. Sasha came home a little tipsy and began to slyly ask if I came home immediately or if I had detoured. I asked her why she was being so distrustful, as I felt I kept communications open to her and had not given her a reason to not believe me. She went silent, then excused herself to go to bed. When I joined her, she was on her laptop and slammed it shut when I entered the room. Today I'm fuming. I've done everything I feel I can to help alleviate any worries about cheating. I've done my best to be a better person than I once was. I'm at a loss and don't know if this is a normal reaction when you date someone who once cheated. Is this worth salvaging with Sasha, or should I just cut and run? TLDR. I cheated on my ex-fiancé 4 years ago. I regret it and wish I could take it back. I've worked hard to become a better person. My girlfriend has become obsessed recently with my infidelity and is being very controlling, but she won't admit it. Is this worth salvaging, or do I need to just walk away? Relevant comments. Chaos collected. Dude, run. This is so beyond okay. A keylogger? Texting people from your phone. You deserve someone who treats you based on your actions. You did something at a really bad time in your life that you regret and have bettered yourself from. Your past shouldn't be held against you. OP. It infuriated me that she texted Alma. I felt that it could have potentially dragged her into rehashing things about our past relationship that don't need to be. But Sasha just acted so baffled and confused that, for a moment, I believed that she didn't text them and had no clue about what I was talking about. OP on his feelings with his current girlfriend and the whole situation. I'm not sure if she's cheating or cheated or what caused her sudden interest, but I just kept rationalizing all of these things. Maybe I wasn't honest enough, so she needed to download a keylogger. Maybe I wasn't honest or open enough about Alma, so she pursued it. I'm not excusing her actions. I just kept hoping that I could make things better. Writing everything out makes it obvious I can't, and I'm going to break up with her. I don't think that's even a question on my mind anymore. I just feel incredibly paranoid about everything now. I'm afraid she's tracking my cell phone, my text messages, and my computer. I'm posting this from my coworker's work laptop, so I need to plan my moves without her catching wind. Maybe I'm just overly paranoid, but I've never thought I'd have to deal with a situation like this. When talking about his past relationship with Alma, when Alma and I talked, we both reflected on that. In her words, she was kind of grateful I cheated because she thought we wouldn't have had the courage or reasons to break things off otherwise and would still be unhappy with each other. Part of me felt that the issues I was dealing with through Sasha were kind of karma for cheating. I think I did dilute our issues in hopes I could convince her that I'm not that person anymore. Update. So I'm just going to sum things up because there's a lot of detail, and it's great for long stories with friends, maybe not on Reddit. Sasha told me she was going to visit her mother because there was a health emergency last week. I took her to the airport and immediately moved all her essentials out of my place to a storage locker, not far from it. I had my computer and phone scrubbed of keyloggers and trackers. There were several on each. A good friend of mine offered me his spare room until a month was up, as I had to leave a 30-day written notice for Sasha in the apartment. I decided it would be best to wait until she got home to let her know we broke up and not distract from her family. The day before Sasha was supposed to fly back, I received an eerie Facebook message from Alma. Apparently, for the past couple days, her home has been messed with. Someone left the gates open, tore through screen doors, broke a couple pots in the yard, and she felt like she was being watched. She asked if there was any chance that I or Sasha were behind all of this. It pained me to say it, but part of me thought Sasha or Danielle might be, as I had no idea where Alma currently lived. I informed her about the keylogger, the trackers, and other issues. Alma asked what kind of car I drove, as she had noticed the same car driving by several times, and was now parked at the end of her block. It was not Sasha's vehicle or mine, so I assumed Danielle might be stalking Alma on Sasha's behalf while I was gone. Alma asked if I would come deal with this, as she was very upset to be involved involuntarily in this issue, and to at least provide company so she wouldn't be home alone. She gave me her address, and off I went. Come to find out, Sasha never boarded the plane. She bought a ticket and turned around as soon as I did. She rented a car and went to stalk Alma, probably in hopes of catching me going back to Alma, which, in her eyes, happened as soon as I showed up at Alma's place. I arrived, and Sasha came bulldozing out of her rented car towards me. She kept screaming at me for cheating on her, saying that she knew I'd run back to that SLT, and that the second she was gone, I couldn't keep my DCK in my pants. Alma came out of her house at the sound of the screams, and Sasha tried to sprint at her. Thankfully, Alma was able to get back into her home and lock the door in time, while Sasha began to hurl things around her yard. The police arrived and took everyone aside for statements. Alma showed pictures of prior damage, photos of the car parked at the end of the block, and Facebook messages between me, and I did the same. Surprisingly, it seemed that Sasha didn't deny any of it. She even admitted to stalking Alma's Facebook enough to determine where she lived based on photos. The worst moment was when they put Sasha into the police car. She looked me dead in the eye and told me that what she did for me and our love together. We will be together, she swears. The police officer apologized and said I should start looking into a restraining order as soon as possible. So that's what I've been doing this week. I think I want to be single for some time now. TLDR. Sasha installed several keyloggers and trackers on my electronic devices. She then began to stalk Alma at her home. I came by, and the police were called. I'm going to be single for some time. Thanks, folks. Being able to write everything out last time and read it all in one place really made me realize how many red flags I waved away. Relevant comments. Helifits. She looked me dead in the eye and told me that what she did for me and our love together. And we will be together, she swears. That is so unsettling. I'm glad you and Alma are safe. You should talk to her about also looking into getting a restraining order for herself against Sasha. OP. I'm not sure what Alma's plans are right now, but we're both refraining from further contact with each other. She's removed herself from Facebook, and that's all I know. Wildstalins 111. I don't understand your ex's plan. Or really the story. Why did your ex assume that you would go over to Alma's house? How did she know Alma would ask you for help? Why did Alma ask you for help? Why did Alan even suspect it was your girlfriend? OP. Sasha assumed I would go over to Alma's house because she thought I would go back to her or have an affair with her. I'm guessing this stemmed from the unprompted Facebook message Alma sent me regarding the weird texts she received. She had no idea Alma would ask for my help. Alma asked for my help because she recognized it was my girlfriend or girlfriend's friend, more than likely causing this due to the dates and new information regarding the tracking. And Sasha has a very distinct feature, so if you Facebook stalked her, you could easily point her out in a lineup or in a car that drives by at least 4 times. OP on cutting contact with Sasha and her family. Oh, I have no intention of talking to her anymore. I just still hope she can get the help she needs because, before she started to tip, she was a genuinely wonderful person. I hope someone helps her find stability in that mindset, and not this crazy one. And I spoke to her mom to let her know what was going on. But I've been advised to cease contact with anyone with obvious ties to her. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.